Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Last week, I was doing a CLE presentation to the Sarasota County Bar Association. We are a Florida bar approved continuing legal education provider. And last week, I drove to Sarasota and made a presentation to 65 lawyers who made me incredibly welcome. They were just amazingly gracious. And I talked about the work that we do, Marchman Act guardianship, Baker Act, and it really was a 10,000-foot overview of how, all of these things work together. And I also explained to the audience that we get calls from all over the country, and sometimes outside of the country, for families who have a loved one that's either here in Florida or coming to Florida, and they want to talk to us about getting their loved one to treatment and keeping them here long enough. And one of the questions that was asked, and I thought it was a really good question, is why Florida? Why would somebody even bother to come to Florida for treatment? Could they go to Texas or California? And I guess they could. But there's a couple of really important things to note about coming to Florida. First of all, there is great treatment down here. And especially here in the South Florida area, some really great facilities that we work with, one or two in Central Florida. I can tell you that as a general rule, we will not work with a facility that we haven't actually been to and met the folks that work there. And Audra and I spend a great deal of time traveling all over Florida, trying to see different facilities to give our clients some options with regards to assessment and treatment and things of that nature. The other thing is we had a task force that was run, especially down here in Palm Beach County, by our state attorney, and they were basically arresting all the horrible bad actors, the ones that had just made a complete mockery of the idea of treatment, the ones who were making these, horrible claims with insurance companies, urine testing people for every day or every other day just to make a buck, and some of these other treatment centers who were peddling drugs, peddling prostitution, just the most unbelievably disgusting, horrible things. Those actors, for the most part, are gone. They have been arrested and they are out of the system. So we have some really great treatment down here, and that gives you, as a family, some options. The other reason, and I think perhaps as important, if not more important, is the framework, the legal framework that we have down here that allows us to put somebody into treatment and keep them there long enough. So the Marchman Act, there's really nothing else quite like it anywhere in the country. Perhaps Casey's Law in Kentucky, but the Marchman Act is a very powerful and speedy way to get somebody at least picked up initially before we go into court for a full-blown hearing. And depending on the county, and again, this is very county specific, it can be done really quickly. I mean, a same day, filing and pickup. So we're big fans if it's used appropriately and we're in the right county. Guardianship, again, an amazing tool where we have taken a statute that was really designed for elderly folks and we've applied it to the kinds of cases that we work, right? Young adults, 25 to 45 with a significant behavioral health issue, drug use, mental health, all those things. Again, and sometimes in combination with the Marchman Act, wow, powerful, powerful tool. And the Baker Act, and from other videos, I've been fighting the good fight for abuse of the Baker Act, which is rampant here in Florida. But again, when it's used the correct way, a very powerful life-saving tool. And it's not unusual for us to be in Marchman Court, Guardianship Court, and also Baker Act Court, depending on the case. And the one thing I will tell every family that's predictable about this situation is it's unpredictable, right? Somebody could be in treatment. They suddenly go in crisis and now they've got to get Baker Acted. So understanding how these three statutes all work together, very important. And occasionally we're dealing with somebody who's been arrested. They're in the county jail. Well, I was a prosecutor for a long time, did a lot of criminal defense work. So we really have a good handle on how that works too. Although we don't take those cases and we can refer you to somebody, we understand how all of these things work together, because you can't just be a one-trick pony when you're dealing with behavioral health issues, because things are so unpredictable and every case is unique and every family has different needs and wants and desires. So Florida is a great place to come for treatment. And if you'd like to talk to us about how we can get your loved one here, if they're not here, happy to have the conversation. If they are here, happily talk to you about how we can keep them here and keep them here long enough in the clinically appropriate treatment facility. Because look, if your loved one is in the wrong facility or they don't stay long enough, this craziness that you have been dealing with will continue and continue and continue. So we got to get them in the right facility that's clinically appropriate, and we got to keep them there long enough. And if you do that, then you have an opportunity, you have hope that this nightmare, this craziness is going to finally end. But it takes time, right? Your loved one's been sick for a long time. Your family has been dealing with this for a long time. It's going to take time. And so if you'd like more information, please reach out to us. And if you like this video, I really would appreciate the thumbs up. If you can subscribe to the channel, thank you. I appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.